So we left things in week 5 of flowering where everything was getting really beautiful and starting to grow out incredibly. I had to remove the top of the tent and attach the light to the ceiling, but it was still growing well, and I'm excited to show you guys where I am now. First though, let's get this out of the way. I don't condone any illegal activity, so make sure you know about the laws where you are before you grow. And just like every other video on this channel, the intention is for education. With that being said, head over to humblegrowthhydroponics.com where you can find free comprehensive guides to go along with all the videos and topics I discuss, including a comprehensive guide to go along with these videos. Okay, so now let's get into week 6 flowering.
Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on.
Trichomes are a plant's natural defense to ultraviolet light. They grow out of the stems and the leaves to protect the plant from burning from ultraviolet radiation in the higher wavelengths. When it comes to cannabis cultivation, not only do trichomes make your plant super sticky, but they also tell you when it's time to harvest. They start off crystal clear, and then they turn more milky white, and then they turn an amber brown. So the perfect time to harvest if you're looking for that optimal THC is when they are milky white. So now's a good time to start paying very, very close attention to your cannabis plant. Things are looking pretty good right now, but it does look like some of my larger ones could be ready to harvest. So I'm gonna give it a few more days and I'll check back. This is bud rot. This means I likely have mold or mildew in my buds. So I'm gonna cut and check all the tops. I was gonna harvest them anyway, but let's see if I can even use them. Let's check another top. I gotta harvest it all. After 3 days of drying, the stems were nice and crispy, so I threw all the buds in jars and got ready for the cure and weighed them up. But before we get to the weight, this video and this series in growing cannabis has been really fun and really rewarding for me, so I definitely want to keep it going, but I don't want to do it on Humble Growth. So Eric and I have decided to start a completely separate channel just to focus on cannabis cultivation. It's going to be called The Grow Room. You can find a link for it in the description box. There isn't really anything over there yet, but I'm going to make a long form version from seed to harvest to weight of this video, and that'll be the first one we post over there. So be one of the earliest subscribers and hop on over to The Grow Room and check it out if you're into growing cannabis. Okay, so everything weighed together before the final curing, I ended up with 15.5 ounces, just 1/2 ounce shy of a pound. Now this is before curing, and I looked online, they said with curing you can expect to lose about 5% of your total mass, which would put me right around 14 ounces. So not quite a pound. I have a feeling if I would have let it go for the entire duration, I would have had a pound, but that bud rot, that mold just kept me from doing that. We'll have to try again next time and see if we can get the 1 pound plant. But 14 ounces, I'm very happy with that. That is an incredible amount of cannabis from one plant. I ended up losing about 2 ounces total to the mold. I separated all the moldy tops and the buds and put them in a different jar. I'm curing those out anyway because I might be able to process them or cut around the mold. I'm not sure. I might get really desperate one day when I run out and just like cut around any parts that have mold on them. I don't know. This probably won't go in the video. So now I want to go over some things that I learned with you guys during this grow. Okay, so it was my first grow. There was plenty of errors and a lot of things that I learned. So let me tell you just the main ones here that I can touch on for you. So I needed to either top off my plant more, I needed to do more of a training method like mainlining it, or switch to flower earlier to keep it from growing so tall and outgrowing the tent. Subsequently, that's what ended up leading to my bud rot because half of the tops were hanging outside of the tent in the humid air. The humidifier just couldn't keep up at that point. So that created a huge problem. And if I would have kept my plant from outgrowing the tent in the first place by either topping it off more, keeping it smaller and more compact, then that wouldn't have happened to me. I also learned, as we saw in the first video, that around week 3 flowering, the plant gets a lot more thirsty. You're gonna need to pay attention to topping it off a lot more around that time. It's gonna start to need like daily maintenance around week 3 flowering. At least it did for me. I've never dealt with a plant that requires such strict humidity for a finished product to not be messed up. It really is much more serious than I thought. I set it to 60% humidity because that's what I could maintain without having an air conditioner in here. Otherwise it was getting too hot and then I would have had other issues like root rot. So I could maintain 60% humidity at about 82, 83 degrees. In hindsight, and for my next grow, I'm gonna get an air conditioner so that I can maintain a lower humidity and also a lower temperature in the room. That's one of the huge issues I ran into, and that led to bud rot also. And lastly, since I didn't have a control, there's no real way for me to tell you if the UVA and the deep red lights had much of an effect on this plant. So I'm gonna do another grow side by side, one with just a standard LED grow light and one with a super custom wavelength LED grow light that's gonna have, you know, UVA and deep red at all the right time during the growth. So we're gonna see if optimizing it in this way has an effect on the total outcome. That's all gonna be on the grow room. So make sure you go subscribe to the grow room to catch those videos. And for you people who are here for regular hydroponics, like on Humble Growth Hydroponics, we're gonna get back to business as usual. I really hope you guys did enjoy this cannabis series. I loved making it, and I think I'm gonna be enjoying it for the next year or so. So let's grow together, guys.